Hello, this reading is for Taurus for the new year. Happy New Year, Taurus. It is 2022. Can you believe it? So I'm just going to be taking a peek at what's coming up for you this year. I'll be looking at what's supporting you, just some general energies, your love life. And if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Okay, so the energy that is supporting you in 2022 is the moon. Now, this is a really interesting card to be a supportive energy. What it means is that this year, it'll really behoove you to tap into your deeper side, into your creative side. The moon fundamentally deals with motives that sometimes we're not aware of. So anything you can do to understand why you do what you do will be very supportive. It'll be a great year to journal, to keep a dream journal, and to do a bunch of crafting as well. The energy that will be a bit more challenging is the Knight of Swords. Now, this is a very active energy, okay? It just means there might be a lot of stuff going on this year where you're going to be really, really busy. And this will be something that you're going to have to contend with, which is staying organized, not burning out. Of course, what would support you is the moon, meaning, keep track of how you are feeling about things and why you're doing things, especially if you're starting to burn out. Sometimes we don't like conflict. Sometimes we have the disease to please, as you would call it. This year it's going to be about prioritizing based on what our needs are, not what other people's needs are. Ooh, in terms of love and relationship, and this could be any relationship, but I'm focusing on like that special sort of love, that sweetheart kind of love. There's definitely an energy about something growing, right? Like sensing something coming and you're like, oh my gosh. So this should be a year full of anticipation and excitement, a sense of wondering what's around the corner. I will say that if you are in a relationship this year that has a lot of what I would call push and pull or come here, go away, it probably won't make it through this energy, and that's not a bad thing because that kind of relationship can go on for a long time and be very draining. It'd be better to resolve that kind of relationship and get into something new. But if you're single and looking for love, I think there's going to be a lot of exciting times and possibly meeting somebody. And if you're in a really good long-term relationship, I think you can move to a new level. In terms of career, this is interesting. Now, this card, this energy for a Taurus, sometimes isn't natural, but I think it's really good. This is a card about trying things before you commit to them. So when it comes to career, this could be a good year to step into some new territory without having to commit to it. What does that look like? That could look like volunteering. That could look like getting a certificate in something. That could look like getting involved in something you think you want to do and maybe transition into, but actually testing it out before you do it. Also, when it comes to, moving forward in life and sometimes just bringing in new experiences into your life and meeting new people can inspire you in new ways to make a living. So the emphasis this year really isn't on committing to a path as much as it is trying out a new path and keeping your options open. So even if you already are in a really set job, you might want to try doing something on the side. Maybe you've been thinking you want to have a side hustle, right? Well, try it out. All right, let's see what other information we can get here. Ooh, I love this. So this is sort of the card of daydream. So this is where we're starting for 2022. Do not hold back on dreaming big, Taurus. This is a year to have big ideas and not stop yourself, at least from the conjuring, the daydreaming aspect, because you're like, oh, that's not practical. Sometimes that can stop us before we even start, especially with earth signs, because there's more of a desire for a guaranteed outcome sometimes than with other signs. Other signs will jump in, like fire and air, lots of times will jump into something because they know that they'll just as easily jump out. Oftentimes earth signs don't like to jump into something because they don't like jumping out. They want to commit, they want to have follow through. But here's the deal. You have to start somewhere, and the dream is where you start, and so you don't want to cut off options in this stage, which is the planning, the researching, the daydreaming. So combined with this energy, what this is saying is that if you can dream it and you invest in the dream, you will eventually move into a place where, usually this is about making money. So, but you have to start as an apprentice. You have to start getting an education, right? You can't just do something without getting the skill set. But here's what I really want to emphasize here. What I really want to emphasize here is that there are many, many ideas here. And this is saying, you know, have the ideas. Do not commit to the first thing you try if it's not right. Don't just be like, okay, good, now I'm on a path, I can go. You might need to hold space for gray area for a while you try this out, try this out, try this out. Then you commit to the investment, okay? So have maybe, you know, that moon card is really strong this year. You may be finding out things about yourself this year that are going to make you have new ideas and want new things, and you need to be open to that. You don't have to keep being exactly who you are. You can change. The card that represents you in 2022 is the Fool. The Fool is the very first card in the deck, Taurus. There is definitely an energy here for your sign that is about taking calculated risk, and I really want you to hear that message. Sometimes the things most worth having in life are the ones that you take a risk for. It's not just handed to you, it's not guaranteed. Don't be afraid of risk. But of course, you know, make sure it's well thought out and well planned risk as well. I mean, unless you really just want to throw everything to the wind and go, that's a possibility too. Your outcome this year is the Wheel of Fortune. So, wow, how fascinating. This is such a good luck charm to have for 2022. This means the wheel is turning for you, and if you've been on the bottom, some of you, it looks like you've gone through a bit of a hard time this last year, okay? What I want to do is offer you hope. The Wheel of Fortune is now arriving, and if you've been down here, the only way is up. And so this is usually, for me, when I read, overwhelmingly good sign that, you know, if you take a chance, if you step into the unknown, if you move towards something, the universe, it catches the universe's eye, and it's like, oh, they actually are doing something. I'm going to help them out. It's really hard for the universe to help you if you're not acting on what you say you want. So remember that. It's like you can wish for it. I mean, sometimes we get our wishes, but usually we have to wish it, move towards the thing, and then the universe has directions like, oh, this is what they're moving towards. This is what they want. Here you go. What a great reading. This year is about self-exploration, dreaming big, letting life support you in your different missions. And I will say this, for many of you, there is a situation in your life, this isn't your whole life, okay, where it may be time to release something or someone. If this resonates with you, you know what or who I'm talking about. This says salvage what you can, keep moving. I mean, especially, that's also what this means, especially when you have the blessings of the fortune card at the end of your journey. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please subscribe. Check back with me next week. I'm doing weekly vibe checks for everyone. Okay, Happy New Year.